The June 11th meeting of the Caldwell County Board of Education. We're happy that you have decided to spend some time with us this evening. We have some awards and recognitions that we're all looking forward to. Of course, we all know that school is out now, and you won't have to deal with those big yellow buses quite as much. There may be a few out there, but generally they are parked for the summer. But it also brings to mind that we all need to be very careful in watching out for children that might be playing out on the streets and in the neighborhoods and that kind of thing. Graduation went extremely well, and numbers I have right now, and it could fluctuate a little bit, is that we had in the 3 traditional high schools and in the early college and the middle college, we had 921, give or take, a little bit, students that graduated. So that is a goodly number there. And from that group right now, and this number will not go down, this number will probably go up. The scholarship level is at $16,672,000. So that's very good for Caldwell County students to obtain that level of scholarships, so we're very proud of that as well. Another thing to kind of keep in mind is that the Education Center in all of our schools are going to a 4-day, 10-hour day work week, and that means they will be closed, and the Ed Center will be closed on Fridays. That saves us a pretty good bit of money, $75,000 a year by closing the schools and closing the Ed Center on Friday. So that started today. So this Friday, the Ed Center and schools will be closed. Next on the agenda is the invocation for the board. I'll turn it over to Mr. Tim Hawkins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Certainly we want to pause and reflect on this school year. Excellent school year, and we want to give thanks for that. Also, as we look forward to the summer, we want to pray for safety, not only for staff and administration, but also for our students. So if we could pause just for a minute of silence. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hawkins. Next, we have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag tonight. That is being done by Ariel Brown, daughter of Jessica Brown, who is our wraparound assistant director. So as she comes forward, if you will, please stand.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ariel, for being here. Next is the approval of the agenda, which the board has had opportunity to review. Do I hear a motion that we approve the agenda as has been submitted?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Second. Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion passes. Next, we have 2 sets of minutes. Those from our regular board meeting on May the 14th, and we also had a closed session on that evening as well. So do I hear a motion that we approve the 2 sets of minutes from May 14th, 2018?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes. Next, we have some announcements here. Tomorrow, we will have our Caldwell County Schools retirement dinner at the Civic Center, and that will begin at 6 o'clock. I think this year we've got 38 retirees that will be retiring this year. That's a little bit below what we've had in the past. But we will be honoring those on tomorrow evening. Then on Thursday, June 14th, we have the retirement celebration for Dr. Steve Stone, our superintendent, and Dr. Trish Johnson, our Director of Human Resources. That will be also across the street at the Civic Center. That will be a floating event from 3:30 to 5:30. And at 4:30, there will be a short program. So hopefully you can make it to that event. It will be across the street, and that'll be on Thursday. June 28th, 2018, the board is going down to South Caldwell. We're going to have a reception for the state runner-up fast pitch softball team from South Caldwell. We're very, very proud of them. They did an absolutely outstanding job and represented Caldwell County extremely well. And we're going to be down there for that at 3:30. Then we're going to come back for our special budget meeting at 5 o'clock that day. And that will be followed by the swearing in of our new superintendent, Dr. Don Phipps. So that will be on the 28th. So we would like for you to be here, plan to be here on the 28th. Our budget part of the meeting will be very short, 10, 15 minutes, I would imagine. Certainly by 5:15, we'll move right on into the swearing in of our new superintendent. So we hope that you can be here for that. Also, we will be voting on that date for this, won't we?
The closed session minutes for the superintendent search?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
So we'll put that on the agenda for
yeah.
June
We'll
28th.
The next thing is on July the 9th, we'll have our next board meeting here in the boardroom at the Education Center. So again, we thank you for being here, and we're going to now do our honors and recognition. The board's going to step down, and we're going to shake the hands of those who have received awards. I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. Libby Brown, Director of School Community Relations.
Good evening, Chairman Pennell, Vice Chairman Knight, board members, and Dr. Stone. Congratulations to the following student artists who have been selected to have their artwork on display at the Education for the summer months. Art teachers at each school could nominate some of the most outstanding art pieces to enter into the Education Center Art Gallery for display this summer. So now let's get to our artists in the Caldwell County Schools. And as I call your name, please come forward, and we're going to recognize you, and you receive a nice medallion and a certificate of appreciation from the Board of Education.
Stay up here,
And stay up there for more pictures, okay? So, Macy Taylor, first grade, Sawmills Elementary School. Courtney Wright is the principal, and Brad Wright is the art teacher. So Macy Taylor. Macy here? Do you want to come to the front?
Ms. Wright, you want to come on up there?
We would love to see you. And your beautiful artwork is right here and here. So let's congratulate Macy. We have Seth Cox, third grade, Valmead Elementary School. Carol Sturgis is the principal, and Savannah Tester is the art teacher. So there is Mr. Cox. We have Jacorian Logan. Jacorian is a fourth grader at Whitnell Elementary School, and Kim Case is principal, David Hefner is the art teacher. So Mr. Jacorian Logan. Not here. Okay, so Ms. Pace is coming forward and Mr. Hefner. Mackenzie Wilson. Mackenzie Wilson is a fifth grader at Granite Falls Elementary. Chris Green is the principal and Millie Hefner is the art teacher. So Mackenzie Wilson. Okay, we do know school is out, right? So thank you for being here tonight. Chris, thank you. Olivia Carter, fifth grader, Hudson Elementary School. Adam Wynn Miller is the principal, and Emily Aldeco is the art teacher. So thank you for being here. And we'll do a couple more. Aiden Jones, fifth grader, Lower Creek Elementary School. Leanne Fry is the principal, and Stephanie Woody Groeschel is the art teacher. So Aiden Jones. And Micah Isbell. Micah, fifth grader at West Lenore Elementary School. Travis Gillespie is the principal, and Savannah Tester is the art teacher. Okay, then we'll do one more. Emma Stein. Emma is a seventh grader at Gamel Middle School. Anna Crook is the principal, and Janet Roman is the art teacher. So Ms. Stein is here this evening. So you want to take, so this is about half of our group in the Education Center Art Gallery. So parents, please feel free to take pictures. Okay.
Go ahead. You got it? All right,
Get it?
very good.
Thank you. We have Devontae Ellaby, seventh grader, William Lenore Middle School. Lisa Vaughn is the principal, and Leah Rhodes is the art teacher. So Devontae Ellaby. Okay, there's Miss Vaughn, so thank you for coming up. We have Pretzel Garay. Pretzel is an eighth grader at Granite Falls Middle School. Melissa Costin is the principal, and Mary Cardwell is the art teacher. So congratulations to Pretzel Garay. Caleb Eisenhower, eighth grader, Hudson Middle School. Julia Lovett is the principal, and Kelly Woody is the art teacher. So there is Mr. Caleb Eisenhower and Kelly Woody. Sarah Stewart, freshman, High Brighton High School. David Caldwell is the principal, and Jenna Bailey is the art teacher. So there's some beautiful artwork you don't want to miss. So congratulations. Madison Gilliland is a sophomore at Gateway School, and Bill Schreiber is the principal. So congratulations. Cameron Johnson is a junior at South Caldwell High School. Chad Smith, principal. Natalie Hayes is the art teacher. And there is Mr. Smith, so thank you. Michaela Bell is a junior at West Caldwell High School. She is our final entry here at the Education Center Art Gallery. Andy Poole is principal, and Kevin Abey is the art teacher. So congratulations. And as we're taking pictures, I also want to make mention of Lillian McKinley, second grader, Whitnell Elementary School. She's here. Let's include her. If you didn't notice, she had this sculpture, so we do have a picture of that in the hallway. So this was Kim Case, principal, and David Hefner. So we don't want you just to be by yourself. We'll include you in that group. Thank you. I'm very impressed. Did I say school was out? So thank you, parents and students, for being here tonight. And thank you for your beautiful artwork that we can enjoy all summer. Now we have another student who is here this evening, Dominic Clark. Granite Falls Elementary was named the Dewey and Susan Riles Award winner at the North Carolina State Science and Engineering Fair. Dominic won top 5 at the North Carolina State Science and Engineering Fair in Raleigh in March. He was also named the Dewey and Susan Riles Award winner and received $100. Dominic worked extremely hard on his science fair project, Glutinous Maximus. I'll have him explain that one to you. Okay. He also placed first at Granite's Science Fair, Caldwell County's Science Fair, and ASU's Science Fair in December. So we are very proud of him. His parents are here this evening. So Mom and Dad, you want to stand up? I know you want to join him in the picture? Yeah. Okay. So thank you. So congratulations, Dominic. One more. And thank you for being here tonight. Granite Falls Project Unify has been recognized by North Carolina Special Olympics as an exemplar school for unified champions. Dana Miller, Mandy Church, and Jan Smith. Are you with us this night, tonight? Anyone come forward? Because we're going to brag on you a little bit. So if you don't mind coming up. They are here, but we're going to have others join them. On behalf of hundreds of students at Granite Falls Elementary that are actively involved in Project Unify. Project Unify was established at Granite Falls Elementary School during the 2016-17 school year by Dana Miller, teacher, and Christy Holler, assistant principal. And I know Christy is in the audience. So Christy,
Come on down, Chris.
front and center. The purpose of Project Unify is to provide an opportunity for regular education students and students with severe special needs to interact and truly support one another. Students work together on math, reading, social skills, and more, and then spend time eating lunch together. Approximately 100 students participate in Project Unify today. Students interested must apply and are held to behavior and academic standards. They learn to be role models for others by encouraging, inviting, including, and respecting all people regardless of their ability or disability. Mrs. Miller says it best before any outing that they take part in. She says, remember, it's not about you, it's about them. The students chose this motto for this school year: we are leaders, believers, dreamers, and change makers. And they certainly have made a difference at Granite Falls Elementary School, Project Unify. So I think we have some students with us. So come on, and parents, if you have your t-shirts on, they have their t-shirts on, so please join them. And Mr. Green, are you going to be behind the camera today? You tried, yeah. Didn't work. So we are so proud of this group, and they have just grown by leaps and bounds at Granite Falls Elementary School. So,
Anybody with a blue t-shirt?
yeah.
Other than you, Andy.
And see, it says their motto is on the T-shirt. So let's give them a big round of applause. I think they're still taking photos. Did everyone get a photo? We have one more for the school district. We want to put it on our website. And then finally, I think this is the largest award we've ever given here in size.
I don't think we've ever had an award like this.
We have never had an award this size. So, Valmead Elementary School recently won the Language and Literacy Cup Challenge. The contest included over 335 schools and 1,200 classrooms and more than 12,000 students across North Carolina. During the contest, Valmead soared to the top of North Carolina schools with 76 students participating and logging over 386 hours. So congratulations to Valmead Elementary School for winning the Language and Literacy Cup, held right now by Carol Sturgis, principal at Valmead Elementary School, sponsored by Imagine Learning. They also received a $250 gift card. Valmead Elementary was also recognized as a Beacon School for 2017-18. Beacon schools are chosen by Imagine Learning consultants based on school use and implementation of Imagine Learning products. So you have a very impressive trophy there, Ms. Sturgis, and I think Dr. Widener is here, so Dr. Lisa Widener is... Come on up. And Lisa is our Title I director and elementary school director, and she coordinates this Imagine Learning with their schools. And Susan Walker is our staff development coordinator. You want to come up too? Because Susan helps with Imagine Learning. So we're very proud to have this extraordinary award in our school district.
Susan, you come on down here to balance. When you...
Oh, I have to come back to this?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. And we will hang that nice banner at Valmead Elementary School. Let's give her a round. And board members, I know it says on your agenda that that's it, but we're really not finished. So if you'll please stand in place, if you don't mind. I am going to call to the podium Mr. John Coffey, and John is the Chief Operating Officer for Blue Ridge Energy. So I'm going to turn the podium over to Mr. Coffey and to Gray Shear, who's the Community Services Director.
Thank you. Well, I do have Gray here with me, and you see his face a whole lot more than me. But Chairman Pennell and board members, Steve, we're really here tonight to honor you. And we at Blue Ridge Energy have had a long-standing partnership with the school system, and we're pleased to be able to serve the members and communities and to make life better for the communities that we serve. And part of that is the partnership we've had with the school system. But we wanted to take a minute tonight and recognize Steve, you for your accomplishments, and to thank you for many long years of service in Caldwell County. Blue Ridge Energy has been a long-time proponent of education and helping students through our Leadership Track program, Bright Ideas, classroom grants directly to teachers, and to aid opportunities for specialized learning and certifications. It's something that's near and dear to our hearts because without the students coming up, then we don't have a future here. In 2006, we honored Dr. Tom McNeil with a specialized grant in the amount of $1,500 annually to help the Education Foundation fund teacher training. This year, in honor of Dr. Stone, we'd like to add another grant to help advanced student reading. Now, you might guess where that's coming from, but we thought about, as Gray said, he thought about calling this grant the What Are You Reading grant. But instead, we would like to present Dr. Stone the Dr. Steve Stone Grant for the Advancement of Student Reading Award. The grant will be presented annually through the Education Foundation, specifically for Caldwell County schools, media centers to help them further encourage the love of reading in Caldwell County. The plaque for Dr. Stone reads as follows. The Dr. Steve Stone Grant for Achievement of Student Reading, awarded annually to Caldwell County Media Centers in honor of Dr. Steve Stone, Superintendent of Caldwell County Schools 2006 to 2018, for exemplary leadership in public education and in inspiration and advocate for the advancement of reading among all students, presented this 11th day of June 2018 by Blue Ridge Energy. Dr. Stone, thank you.
Couldn't think of a better way to put money back into schools and media centers and books. So thank you so very much.
We're not finished. We also have another guest presenter tonight, Clay McQuarrie. He is the field representative for U.S. Congressman Mark Meadows.
Well, it is my privilege to be here tonight on behalf of Congressman Mark Meadows and specifically to honor Dr. Stone and his many accomplishments. But I know that I speak on behalf of Congressman Meadows when I say we're going to miss having Dr. Stone here with Caldwell County Schools to work alongside him. We've formulated a great relationship there. But we look forward to working with the new superintendent, and I have a feeling that Dr. Stone is going to continue to be pretty active in the community. So we look forward to that as well. That being said, I do have this congressional record that Congressman Meadows read on the floor of the United States House of Representatives in honor of Dr. Stone, so I'll read it now. Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize Dr. Steve Stone, Superintendent of Schools in Caldwell County, North Carolina. I would like to congratulate Dr. Stone on his retirement after 38 years of service to the students and the families of Caldwell County and the North Carolina public school system as well. Dr. Stone's passion for education was sparked by his classroom experiences growing up with skilled teachers in Person County, North Carolina. Their unwavering commitment to their students propelled him forward to receive his bachelor's degree from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, his master's degree from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte, and lastly, his doctorate from North Carolina State University. Over the course of his career, Dr. Stone has served as a classroom teacher, assistant principal, school-level principal, and central office director. Shaped by our state's esteemed public school and university system, Superintendent Stone is a strong advocate for public education. As superintendent of Caldwell County Schools, Dr. Stone focused on sustainability and success. He is active and involved with numerous educational organizations that promote, invest, and protect our children's future endeavors. Dr. Stone started and supported initiatives which have led to 9 consecutive years of increasing high school graduation rates, 7 years of increasing college scholarship awards, and expanded access to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics for the students of Caldwell County. Dr. Stone is highly regarded among his colleagues throughout the state and in Caldwell County, and is the second longest tenured superintendent in North Carolina. His service and conviction to provide a productive, forward-moving environment for all students to learn will leave a legacy for decades to come. Dr. Stone has impacted the lives of the people he serves and it is my distinct honor to recognize his outstanding work and express the best wishes of the people of Western North Carolina on his retirement.
Okay, no more surprises tonight. Thank you for being here.
Other surprises will come up on Thursday, so we hope that you will be there across the street at 3:30 on Thursday. Now would be the appropriate time, if you choose, I would say to go do homework, but there's no homework tonight, is there? Maybe to eat dinner or relax or whatever, but thank you for being here with us tonight.
This is why I was gonna walk out the door and never tell you.
The word is
It's
sneak
beginning
and
to
not
get me.
walk.
I must have missed something. I'll watch it. Oh, yeah. Well, I hate stuff like that. I hate it.
Okay, we're going to continue on with the meeting. Next is public comment. And as of 3:30 this afternoon, we had received no indication that anyone wanted to speak on any public issue. So we're going to move on. I'll turn it over to our superintendent, Dr. Steve Stone.
Okay, no more surprises. I am extremely honored and very blessed to have served in Caldwell County. And on the 28th, I do want an opportunity to do some final remarks because you guys are just making me sad, and I'm beginning to realize that I am actually going to be retiring. So I do want an opportunity, but I do want to have that chance to speak. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, for your consideration, we have a number of policies from the spring 2008 update from the North Carolina School Boards Association. To date, we have received no comments, so we respectfully recommend approval of the policies listed under action item 9A1.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the revisions, policy revisions, that have been made by the North Carolina School Boards Association as has been presented?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the board policy revisions as presented by the North Carolina School Board Association for approval.
Say.
Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And motion passes. Anything else, Dr. Stone?
No, I think I'm done right now.
Thank you. Turn it over now to Dr. Trish Johnson, Associate Superintendent, Human Resource Services.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and Dr. Stone, I have 3 items for your attention this evening, beginning with Exhibit 3. Exhibit 3 includes usual and customary personnel items presented for your information only, requiring no board action. Exhibit 4 includes usual and customary personnel items requiring board approval. I respectfully recommend approval of these items as they have been presented.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the usual and customary personnel items as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Exhibit 5 are student transfers for the 2018-19 school year. Since your last board meeting, we received 78 requests for student transfers. Of the 78 transfer requests received, 70 meet established board criteria. I respectfully recommend approval of the 70 that meet board criteria. If approved tonight, that brings the total student transfer approval for the 2018-19 school year to 463. I respectfully recommend approval of the 70 requests for transfers.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the 2018-2019 student transfers as presented by Dr. Johnson?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve the student transfers as Ms. Johnson presented.
Second.
And a second. Comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Next, we have Dr. Carol Burns, Associate Superintendent.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Stone, we have for you to approve the strategic plan for 2018 to 2021. If you remember, several years ago, the board asked that we move to a 3-year plan instead of a 5-year plan because things are changing so quickly in education that we have a shorter time frame, and that works well for us. We have to work diligently, but this is the roadmap that we have for what we need to do. So many things need to be done in a public school system, mandates coming from the federal government and the state, and what we plan to do locally based on our data. So we do have to have a road plan so we know where we're going to go. So this is our plan. Couple things that you need to know about it. The major goals come from the data that we have. However, we are mirroring the goals of the State Board of Education and also the goals of the U.S. Office of Education. We've studied their plan very carefully. So we tried to incorporate what's coming down the pike and what we will be expected to do. This year, we put it in there are 5 major goals, and then you have the objectives beneath. The following 3 pages, if you'll notice, we pull the measures apart so you could see how we measure each of those objectives, because the objective is not workable unless you're able to look at it and say, when you get through, we accomplished this. Now, we're completing the one that is in place at this point, and probably within a week or so, when all the test data is in, we'll have the final report from that one, so you can see how well we did on that. Several other things, if you'll notice that the advanced ed priorities are noted for you in there. And we had one state mandate that had to do with students who are taking the Extend 1 testing. That's a mandate from the state that we incorporated. Dr. Phipps has a copy of this. His instructions to us were proceed, and if he saw anything that he felt needed to change, that would be done by board action later in the school year after he's had a chance to take a look at everything. So our recommendation is that you approve the strategic plan.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the strategic plan as it has been laid out for us by Dr. Burns.
Second the motion.
Any comments or any questions of Dr. Burns?
Can tell a lot of work went into this.
Tremendous amount. I don't think people realize that some of the staff members are here. We're probably the group that takes out the strategic plan almost every day. They're shaking their head. We're either working on it or on the next one coming down the pike and so forth, because it is what we go by,
Right.
what we're supposed to be doing. So it is they put lots of hours into this and lots of work, and I'm very proud of the work they've been doing. We always have a good laugh over that. I have to tell you that several years ago, most of them remember, and you see them grin, that on advanced ed visit, we were told we were too ambitious. We had 64, see, they know it, things to do. So you see, we have reduced that mightily. They wanted to tell us we're a little bit too ambitious for what we needed to do, but this is a 3-year plan.
Dr. Burns, would you be comfortable making any kind of comment? I know how hard you all work and how much you put into this. You mentioned the end of the strategic plan for this year, but are you comfortable just making a couple of summary comments about that? Because I know how hard you've worked.
Well, we have met many of those goals. We did not meet all of them, so you'll see them here again, that we're trying to do that. And several of you had mentioned to me, and I'm going to bring that up in public, that some of the candidates for superintendent's position could not find the strategic plan. So we were a little bit, I'm looking to my staff too, a little bit miffed about that, because if you were going to check us out, you would go to the website.
Yeah.
So she's shaking her head. When you go to the website, the very first on the left, and we read from left to right, says About Us. See, Libby knows. Well, if you go to About Us and click on that, the first thing is a nice long paragraph about the school system and explains it in pretty good detail. You did a good job, didn't you? The next thing is the mission and the goals, and right underneath is the strategic plan. And I feel like we had done a tremendous job, because when you click on that, it gives you the measures we've done each year. So for the past 2 years, it's already on there. We not only gave it to you, but we gave you how we measured for the past 2 years. So it's there just as big as you please. So we all made a big dash to see where it was. So that might have told you something about your candidates if they couldn't find it, that particular point.
And to that point too, usually in the spring or in the fall retreat, Carol usually spends about an hour kind of going over where we are, giving updates. Because we really can't do it at this point because the data is still being put together by the state. But you'll have probably about an hour and a half of Carol in the fall
I'm going to
work
tell
session,
on
if
you. You
it-
gave me 5 minutes
if it
tonight.
holds
I
true.
would not look at him because I knew what he was going to do.
You did well.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Burns. Thank your department for all their hard work. Next, we have Dr. Jeff Church, Associate Superintendent for Auxiliary Services.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Stone, I have 2 items for your attention tonight. One is Exhibit 7. It's a boundary line agreement, and this property is adjacent to Oak Hill School. I was approached by the homeowner or the property owner, I don't know, about a month ago. If you look at the plat that's in your handout, you see the property line listed A, B, C, D, and E. The point in question was point C, and that was, it was confirmed, that point, the property line was confirmed by survey that the owner provided, no cost to Caldwell County. So I respectfully request the approval of this agreement.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the boundary line agreement for the property adjoining Oak Hill School?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the boundary line agreement with Oak Hill School.
Second that.
Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Exhibit 8 is a resolution concerning the acquisition of certain real property located at 62 North Highland Avenue in Granite Falls, North Carolina, and that is adjacent to Granite Falls Elementary School. The purchase price is $38,000. I respectfully request the approval of this resolution, and upon approval tonight, then will also seek approval from the county commissioners to purchase the property.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the resolution for real property purchase next to Granite Falls Elementary as it is presented here.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Okay, does anybody have any questions?
The Facilities Committee voted to do that.
Right.
So do we need a motion?
I guess technically, we probably don't.
But you are correct. I had forgotten that,
Yeah.
that it would,
Oh, but
I brought
we're
it as a
voting on
motion
the
instead of-
resolution.
Mhm.
Is that going to be I mean, the committee has voted on,
The
on the
purchase.
purchase of the
Purchase.
property, yes, but not on the resolution.
is there
Best
a need
practice would be for the entire board to go ahead and vote on this resolution.
to vote on the resolution? Okay. Anything else?
I think basically for the public, that house that sits there basically gives us more access to Highland Avenue is what it
Yes.
does.
Right.
Where we could expand the
And the
parking
parking
and
lot.
egress and ingress to
Yes.
that if we ever needed to do something.
Yes.
I mean, it's sits on Highland Avenue, which is sort, and the house is sort of in front of the school a little bit to the side, but it's basically just squaring up the property more along the lines. of
Right,
what
that's
we've
what I was
got.
gonna say. It basically would square up our property and give us access, as you said. Yes.
Any other comments, questions? All those in favor of the motion, which is the resolution to acquire the property adjacent to Granite Falls Elementary School, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
All right.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Church. Next, Director of Finance, David Johnson.
Mr. Chairman, board members, Dr. Stone, I have three amendments tonight. Budget amendment number 13 is for the State Public School Fund in the amount of $6,937. Budget amendment number 14 is for the Federal Grant Fund, and it is for $239,734. Budget amendment number 15 is for the Special Grant Fund, and it is a reduction to get the budget in line with projected revenues for a couple of programs, a reduction of $551,747. If these amendments are approved as submitted tonight, it'll bring the total budget for Caldwell County Schools to $122,846,439.04. I'd like to request that these be approved as submitted.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the State Public School Fund, Federal Grant Fund, and Special Grants Fund as Mr. Johnson has presented those?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve the three amendments as presented by Mr. Johnson.
Second.
Any comments, questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we go into closed session?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we get this board moved to closed session to discuss confidential personnel matters pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A1 and General Statute 115C-321, and to consult with the board attorney and preserve the attorney-client privilege as provided in General Statute 143-218.11A3.
Second.
And a second? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are going into closed session, and we do expect action when we come back, and we'll try not to delay it too long.
This is a copy for Dr. Phipps' wife. She had kidney
move on with the agenda. We'll recognize our superintendent again, Dr. Steve Stone.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, you have had the teachers who are up for contract renewal. The administration would like to approve, for you to approve the teacher contracts.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the 2018-2019 teacher contracts as have been presented?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve the teacher contracts as they have been presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Chairman Pennell, I need to recuse myself. I have a family member that is on that list.
Very
And so
good.
do I.
And Teresa as well. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Our second item is administrative contracts. These are principals, assistant principals, and administrators who are up for a 4-year contract. I would like to respectfully recommend approval.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the 2018-2019 administrative contracts?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the administrative contracts as presented.
I'll second that.
All those in favor, say aye.
Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
I need to recuse.
Okay, very
No,
good.
That's administrative.
Not yet.
It's administrative. This is just principal.
So you're okay
Yeah.
on this one?
You're
Yeah,
okay?
on this one, okay, I'm sorry, thank you.
Okay. Anything? Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes.
My final item, Mr. Chairman, is to recommend 4 administrators for schools. And I'd like to start off with Gamewell Elementary, since I see a couple of those are in the house. First of all, I want to thank the interview team for a lot of hard work. Thank you very much for giving us part of your day to make this happen. The interview team was quite impressed, and we are ready to recommend Adrian Dula for a 2-year contract for Gamewell Elementary. Adrian is no stranger to Caldwell County Schools. She has a master's in school administration from Appalachian State University. She's a current principal in Catawba County, has served as assistant principal here, as well as professional development coordinator. She was highly recommended by the committee, and we'd like to recommend a 2-year contract for Adrian Dula beginning July 1, 2018.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve Adrian Dula as the new principal of Gamewell Elementary School with a 2-year contract.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. I don't see Adrian, but next time she's here, we have to get a comment from her. Mr. Chairman, my second recommendation is for Andy Poole to become the principal of Caldwell Career Center Middle College for a 4-year contract effective July 1. Andy is currently principal of West Caldwell and has done a good job for us there. Would like to recommend him for the Caldwell Career Center Middle College 4-year contract effective July 1.
Do I hear a motion that we approve Andy Poole to a 4-year contract beginning July 1, 2018 to the Caldwell County Career Center Middle College High School?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we approve Andy Poole as new principal at the Luna College for a 4-year contract.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, my third recommendation is for the Craig Styron to become the principal of West Caldwell High School. Craig would continue on a continuation of his contract, which expires next year. You'll have an opportunity to reapprove him. So Craig is again the current principal at Collettsville Elementary School, does a phenomenal job there, and has his roots with West Caldwell, and would certainly do a tremendous job for us there. We'd like to recommend Craig Styron for principal of West Caldwell High School on a continuation of his contract effective July 1.
Mr. Chairman, I make the motion that we approve Craig Siren as principal of West Caldwell High School on a continuation contract until July 1, 2019.
Second.
Motion.
And a second? All those in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My last recommendation is for the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources. We would like to recommend, and this was through a committee process, would like to recommend Mr. Ralph Bill Griffin. Mr. Griffin is
Dr. Griffin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dr. Griffin. Dr. Griffin is no stranger to Caldwell County Schools. He served currently as the Executive Director of Auxiliary Services, does human resources for Alexander County. Prior to that, his whole history was in Caldwell County as a principal and as an assistant principal. He is probably the most well-versed person in HR and would serve the district well. Would like to recommend Bill for Dr. Griffin for a 2-year contract effective July 1, 2018.
Do I hear a motion that we approve Dr. Bill Griffin to a 2-year contract beginning July 1, 2018 as Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources? Is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve Bill Griffin as Assistant Superintendent.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
All right.
Chairman Pennell, I need to recuse myself.
Okay. Okay, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? And there's no opposition, motion passes. What else you got for us, Dr. Stone?
You know, I think I'm done, except get an umbrella. Kathy has some on the way out. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Next, the board has in front of them a
There's a new one on your desk. Use
notice
that one.
of meetings.
Yeah, the one that was
and-
at your desk.
The change that was made there was December 10th to December 3, because in an election year, you got to have the meeting on the first Monday of December. So that was the change that was made there.
Mr. Chairman, I know from when this went out, I've had some conversation about the possibility of changing a couple of dates, particularly for the walkthroughs. I know that Dottie's going to be out of place for the October walkthrough and for the January walkthrough. Joe's going to be out of place for
I'm
the,
sorry, it's the March one that I'll be on.
Joe's going to be out for the March one. Does anyone else have any?
That's the March walkthrough,
I'll be gone, I've got a,
25th of March.
no, I'm sorry, not a walkthrough, the work session is when I will be out.
Work
March
session,
11th,
okay, I got
March
you.
11th.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, I gave you the wrong.
And regular meeting,
Yeah, I'll be gone that day.
yeah.
Is there, we could easily, if we move in October, just remember we're near the early voting, and that impacts certainly 4 of you who will be up for reelection, and that might be a consideration. The January meeting is Dr. Martin Luther King's holiday is January 21st. Keep that in mind, should we decide to move any of these dates.
Which was the other day you were thinking about moving, Dr. Stone?
Well, October 29th is the one that I would really caution about, because that is near early voting.
But that's in early voting. The
Right,
29th is in early voting.
True.
And even if you moved it up a week, it would still be
Yeah.
in early
Right.
voting.
So wherever you move it, unless you move it to the
15th.
15th, that early voting's there. So I was just trying to let you all know that that's an early voting thing, and 4 of you are up for reelection. The January one, just try to avoid, avoid January 21st, because that is Dr. Martin Luther King's
Right, right.
holiday, and none of us will be here for that.
So maybe we could try revising again and look at it again at the end of the month? Could we do that?
Well, I would suggest that you may just revise only the walkthrough dates, because next July 9th, you'll have the starting date, and we like to publish it in enough
Okay.
time for people. I mean, if it's only the walkthrough dates, then let's just pull those and say we'll address them again, but just go ahead and publish the calendar without those.
Well, the
But the.
March
the-
11th would be the spring
work
session and the board meeting.
And the board
Right.
meeting, so.
Well,
So
if you can't move it, I mean, the board meeting, that's okay, if the work session, I don't know if that can be moved or not. But
Yeah, I see what
however,
you're
it
saying.
needs to work on the calendar, would be fine.
We can move the work session up to February.
Or just do it a week earlier in March or.
Well, we
or
generally try to tie it with a regular meeting.
Oh,
So if we moved it up
gotcha.
to
Moved it to
February
February
11th.
11th.
Right.
Could do that.
So I'd like to make that make that change right now, if that's okay. And then let's approve the calendar with the dates, other than the walkthrough dates, and then in July. And Dr. Phipps may have a different idea about walkthroughs anyway, so that may give him an opportunity to weigh in on it. So can we go ahead and approve the calendar so we can publish it for all the dates except for the walkthroughs?
Okay, everybody understand? Do I hear a motion that we approve the calendar as presented with the exception of the 3 walkthrough dates? And that would also be moving the work session to the 11th of February. Everybody in agreement? Okay, I need a motion to that effect.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the calendar, currently removing the 3 walkthrough dates, which will be rescheduled, and moving the March 11th spring work session to February 11th.
Okay, everybody understand the motion? Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any comments?
Thank you.
So it just changed March 11th to February 11th.
At this
And
point,
then
and we'll look
okay.
at the
Thank you.
walkthrough dates.
Thank you.
And do note that that December 3rd is the first Monday, but that's by board policy that we meet the first Monday after an election to install officers as well as to swear in new board members, or the old, well, swear in board members.
Okay. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. So we will proceed with that. Anybody else have anything? I think we've gone over the important dates, one being tomorrow, one being on Thursday, and hope to see all of you at that time. Do I hear a motion that we adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.